Okay guys, so haven't done a pack opening for a while, and new Phyrexia came out, so I figured I'd open up 4 packs of new Phyrexia for you. I don't know a whole lot about this series. I know they introduced a new Planeswalker. I know that there's some new mechanics, paying life to cast spells instead of just mana, or instead of mana. And then I guess there's Karns now, which I haven't read up a whole lot on, but we'll go ahead and go through these packs here. So here we have a Rotted Hystrix, 5 mana. It's a beast, 3/6. Suture Priest. This is actually a card I was looking forward to. It's 2 mana. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, you gain a life. Whenever a creature enters the battlefield under an opponent's control, you can have that player lose 1 life. It's 1/1. Scrapyard Salvo, 3 mana. Scrapyard Salvo deals damage to target player equal to the number of artifact cards in your graveyard. Toxic Nim, Infect. You can pay 1 black mana to regenerate Toxic Nim. It's a 4/1, but it's 6 mana to cast. Chain Throatseeker, Infect, 6 mana. Chain Throatseeker can't attack unless defending player is poisoned, 5/5. Feared Harvest, Enchant Artifact, 1 mana. Whenever enchanted artifact is put into a graveyard, you gain 6 life. It's not too bad. Parasitic Implant, 4 mana. Enchant creature. At the beginning of your upkeep, enchanted creature's controller sacrifices it, and you put a 1/1 colorless mirror onto the battlefield. Numbing Dose, 5 mana. Enchant artifact or creature. Enchanted permanent doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. At the beginning of your upkeep, at the beginning of the upkeep of the enchanted permanent's controller, that player loses 1 life. Volt Charge, deals 3 damage to target creature or player and proliferate for 3. Shriek Raptor, 5, flying with Infect, 2/3. Darksteel Relic, Indestructible, 0 mana. Vital Splicer, 4 mana. Whenever Vital Splicer enters the battlefield, put over 3/3 colorless Golem artifact onto the battlefield. You can pay 1 to regenerate target Golem if you choose. Beast Within, destroy target permanent. Its controller puts a 3/3 green beast token onto the battlefield. For 3. Psychic Surgery. Whenever an opponent shuffles his or her library, you may look at the top 2 cards of that library, and then choose to exile 1 of those cards. Put the rest on top of the library in any order. And here it's showing how the new Phyrexia mana works. And I got Plains. So that's the first pack. Okay, so I have the Gitaxian Probe. Shows here the Phyrexian mana. So if it has that mana symbol, you can either be paid with 1 blue mana or 2 life. So you can look at a target player's hand and draw a card. Ruthless Invasion. Non-artifact creatures can't block this turn. Feared Betrayers. They have Infect as long as an opponent is poisoned. 3/1 for 3 mana. Vault Scourge, an artifact creature. Flying and lifelink, 1/1. Remember the Fallen, 3 mana. Choose 1 or both. Return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand, and or return target artifact creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Razor Swan, 3 mana, first strike and infect, 2/1. Lost Leonin, it's 2 mana, infect, 2/1. It's pretty cool art on that. Deathhood Cobra, 2 mana. You can pay 2 mana and Deathhood Cobra gains reach until the end of turn, or you can pay 2 and it gains Death Touch. Spinethopter, it's an artifact creature, 2/1 with flying. Grim Affliction, 3 mana. Put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, then proliferate. Cathedral Membrane, it's a wall defender. Whenever Cathedral Membrane is put into a graveyard from the battlefield during combat, it deals 6 damage to each creature it blocked. Despise, 1 mana. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a creature or planeswalker from it, and they discard that card. It's not too bad for 1 mana. Tezzeret's Gambit, it's 4 mana. Draw 2 cards, then proliferate. And they have Mirla the Psyvlock Outcast. Let's see here. You can't get poison counters. Creatures you control can't have -1/-1 counters placed on them, and creatures your opponents control lose infect. You slap Shroud on her and be able to do anything about infect. A Mirror token and a Swamp. So, on to the third pack. There's another Viridin Harvest. Sensor Splicer, 5 mana. Whenever a Sensor Splicer enters the battlefield, put a 3/3 colorless Golem artifact creature token onto the battlefield. And Golem creatures you control have Vigilance. It's a 1/1. Flameborn Viron, it's a creature. That's 6 mana to cast, 6/4. Another Toxic Nim, another Remember the Fallen, Defensive Stance, 1 mana, enchant creature, enchanted creature gets -1/+1. Grim Affliction, put a -1/-1 counter on target creature, then proliferate for 3. Porcelain Legionnaire, 3 mana, first strike, 3/1. Numbing Dose, enchant artifact or creature, doesn't untap. I think we already had one of these. Blind Zealot, 3 mana, gets Intimidate. Whenever it Blind Zealot deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice it. If you do, destroy a target creature that player controls, 2/2. Whipflare, Whipflare deals 2 damage to each non-artifact creature for 2 mana. Mindcrank, whenever an opponent loses life, that player puts that many cards from the top of his or her library into his or her graveyard for 2 mana. Tormentor Exarch, 4 mana. Whenever Tormentor Exarch enters the battlefield, choose 1. Target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn, or -0/-2 until end of turn for 2. Molten Steel Dragon, 6 mana, a flying, and if you pay 2 life, Molten Steel Dragon gets +1/+0 till end of turn. Or 1 mana, 4/4. Phyrexia mana, Swamp. So that's all from that pack. So not too much out of that one. And here's the last one. Let's see, it's the same. Here's a different one. 4 mana, Insatiable Soul Eater. Gains trample and end of turn. 5/1. Mutagenic Growth. 1 mana. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Artillerize. 4 mana. As an additional cost to cast Artillerize, sacrifice an artifact or creature. Artillerize deals 5 damage to target creature or player. Geth's Verdict. 2 mana. Target player sacrifices a creature and loses 1 life. War Report. 4 mana, you gain life equal to the number of creatures on the battlefield plus the number of artifacts on the battlefield. So that's not too bad for 4 mana. Shrine of Boundless Growth. Beginning of your upkeep or whenever you cast a green spell, put a charge counter on Shrine of Boundless Growth. Tap it, sacrifice Shrine of Boundless Growth. Add 1 mana to your mana pool for each charge counter on the shrine. Gutshot. 1 mana. Gutshot deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Isolation Cell. 4 mana. Whenever an opponent casts a creature spell, that player loses 2 life unless he or she pays 2 mana. There we go. Mythic Rare. Etched Monstrosity. 5 mana. Etched Monstrosity enters the battlefield with 5 -1/-1 counters on it. Pay 1 of every single color mana to remove 5 -1/-1 counters from Etched Monstrosity, and then target player draws 3 cards. It's a 10/10. So when it comes out, it's 5/5. And a swamp. So, well, there we go. We pulled 1 mythic out of the bunch. So, I hope you guys liked it. I know I haven't done any videos in a while, but I figured now was a good chance to show you some new cards with a little bit of time I have on with free time I have, I should say. So, hope you guys liked it. I'll try to get some more stuff up for you. That's all for now.